Here we sit 5 days into free agency, and somehow the Warriors have yet to address the lack of size in the front court. Dub Nation is going crazy as player after player goes off the board on what seems like bargain deals. And to make things worse, going to other contenders, Western Conference rivals. Now, the report is there's two real reasons why the Warriors are missing out on all these free agents. One, they're not willing to guarantee a second year to these veteran minimum contracts. Eric Gordon in Phoenix is the example that's being used, right? The Suns are offering a second year on a player option, letting the player choose, hey, next season, if things don't, you can still pick it up, we'll still pay you, right? And then two, apparently there's not a real clear path to minutes on this Warriors roster, specifically if you're a guard. Now, I have some other thoughts and questions for y'all to perhaps why we're missing out on some of these free agents. Give me a minute here again to tell you guys about Factor, because the truth is it really does make meeting your nutritional goals easier than ever. You're getting fresh, never frozen food directly to your doorstep, all dietitian approved. And listen, it's no secret. We all want to be in our best shape during the summer months, right? But why does it always feel like it's hardest to stay in shape during the summer? And I think, there's travel, a lot of holiday barbecues. And again, Factor, it's not just a convenience, it's a variety and it's a quality. You've got calorie smart choices where it's around 550 calories. Or how about the protein plus meals where you're getting a guaranteed 30 plus grams of protein per meal? What I love to use that for is post-workout meals. In 2 minutes, it's ready to go. And instead of having some protein shake that's going to give you the bubblies, you get actual real whole food and protein super conveniently. So head over to factor75.com or click the link below and use the code alchemy50 for 50% off your first box at Factor. Now, that's not to say that the contract second year thing isn't a real issue, but the first thing that came to my mind as we continued to miss out on these players was, is part of this Jordan Poole pushback? And the younger generation of player, these players talk. Is there a part of the league, are there players around the league that do not like the way the Warriors handled this situation? Right? And Poole has taken the high road. He hasn't said anything about the organization, but 48 hours after the trade, stuff started to come out from the Warriors organization about Poole, his immaturity, and just different things behind the scenes, right? Basically calling him irrelevant. It wasn't necessary. And y'all know how I feel, but it was unnecessary. And so is part of this a reflection of how they handled the punch incident, the tape getting out, and then exiling Poole? Is part of it not wanting to come and deal with Draymond and Kerr and these personalities, right? My other question would be, is because we're obviously looking at bigs, right? And some of these guys are younger bigs. Do you think that the agent of these forwards and centers feels comfortable with their clients signing with the Warriors and saying, hey, they're going to get a good opportunity. Mo Bamba's going to play. He's going to get 20 minutes a night, right? It's not an ideal situation. So I guess that goes kind of on par with the minutes and clear path to minutes thing there. But I wonder if there's a little bit of blowback with how things were handled with that. Let's talk about what did happen, right? Draymond Green, listen, as unique of a fit as he is to Steph Curry and the organization and the system, the truth of the matter is, and maybe not this contract, right? But he has taken a bargain contract the whole way since after his rookie deal, right? He's worked with the team and ultimately showed it's your actions, right? He showed what's most important to him, winning, right? Everybody wants to get paid. But to me, and I don't know this for sure, but to me, it feels like Draymond, again, has put his money where his mouth is, and he takes a team-friendly deal. And some of you may say, oh, no, how could you pay him that much? It's relative. Have you seen these contracts that are getting handed out? The new rookie extension max is $260. Hey, get your paper. These young fellas just need to understand they're going to be looked at in a different light. The minute you sign a $200 million contract, the clock is ticking, right, on winning. But yeah, I think we all knew that the Draymond thing was going to happen. It happened instantaneously with free agency. It was a done deal. For for 100. So he got the extra year, right? But what they did was they backloaded it to avoid heavy taxes in the first year or two of the contract. And to me, all in all, again, my feeling is it was kind of a bargain. I feel like if he really wanted to push the issue, he could have went and whether it was this contract or the last one, he could have dipped and got more in a less ideal winning situation. So next up, they go and get Corey Joseph after reportedly, I guess they wanted Eric Gordon in that spot. I think we all know we've wanted Eric. So then after missing out on Eric Gordon to the Suns, who are just absolutely loaded right now, they're going all in. They quickly pivoted to Corey Joe. Go win a ring and bring it home like I'm Corey Joe. Won a championship with the Spurs, played with the Raptors. He's been with Detroit the last few years. You know who Corey Joe reminds me of physically is Andre Miller. Y'all remember Andre Miller? Now, he's not nearly that caliber of player. Andre Miller was an all-star point guard and one of the best passers of all time, one of the best lob throwers of all time. I'm not saying he plays like him. His built and how he kind of plays on the ground. Not a lot of jumping or verticality from Corey Joseph, but he's a stronger, huskier dude and plays physical and fundamental, shoots the three ball at 40%. No nonsense type of dude that's going to fit right in as a third guard, right? So not an exciting signing, but it makes sense in a guy that's going to buy some days off for Steph and CP, right? As well as be able to contribute it in spots, not needing a lot of opportunity at this point in his career, right? He's a veteran, solid pickup. So now we've got 2 roster spots left. We know we need to get a big, and the word is they've been in hot pursuit of Dario Saric, right? A guy that we've talked about his fit with the system, the timetable, all of that. But apparently Dario is waiting on a potential Damian Lillard trade to Miami. Then he would go sign in Miami as their starting power forward because they would obviously lose a handful of players in acquiring Dame, whether it's a 3-way, 4-way, however it is, right? And so that's the hang up on that. I've heard people say, well, hey, man, all right, then bounce. Like, you want to go play with Dame? You think your opportunity is better there, then you got to do it. It may just boil down to playing time. Who else is still out there? We've got Mo Bamba, the Lakers waived, and Bol Bol. Those are the 2 other names that people are throwing around that, right, in theory, the name on 2K, right, they'd be a really good match. They'd be fun, right? Let's start with Mo Bamba. I think it's a fit, right? He's a stretch 5 who also protects the rim, right? On paper, it's like, please sign us up. Let's go get him, right? I think that there perhaps could be a concern with maturity. Right? When you look at him and it's like, how serious of a player is he? Why didn't the Lakers retain him? Orlando said thanks, but no thanks, right? And, they're clearly trying to reestablish the culture of this locker room, right? And the truth of the matter is, whether you want to hear it or not, Jordan Poole threatened that winning championship culture. Was it all his fault? Absolutely not, right? It's a chicken or egg thing, but they're trying to, again, flip back to the culture that we all know in that locker room. And I don't know if Mo Bamba's that culture fit with his maturity. Bol Bol, the same thing. You remember Bol Bol sliding in the draft? He was going to be a lottery pick at one point at Oregon. There was concerns with the body, obviously, but he had some really weird interviews, and he's a kind of a weird kid, right? Despite all the talent. I think the other issue with Bol Bol is he's a wing. Like, Bol Bol's not a big. I know he's 7'3", but have you watched him play? He plays like KD. Like, he's a super lanky wing, so he's not really a big. And so as exciting as those 2 names are, again, I imagine that the Warriors internally maybe don't think they're a cultural fit. So I'll throw out a couple names that are. First off, Bismack Biyombo. They say he's 31. Maybe, right? He still moves well, and he is undersized. Well, they list him at 6'8", 6'9", but where is he from? The Congo? He's strong as hell, right? He, I think, would fit the bill in the sense of buttoned up, right? Just played with Chris Paul and can guard up. You can use him on Joel Embiid, on Jokic, on AD, even though he is undersized, super physical and strong, and has played center his entire career. The issue is he's not an interchangeable puzzle piece. He limits, what is the term that Kerr always uses? Positional versatility, right? You can sub him in for Loon, that's about it, right? You're not moving him over to the 4, and you can't play him with Kuminga or Drake, right? It limits your positional versatility, but he would fit the bill as a veteran big man who gives you 5 fouls and physicality against true bigs. Here's a name that some of you may not know. Moses Brown, kind of on the other end of the spectrum, is a young 7-footer. I first noticed him in OKC. Very skilled, kind of a finesse center, but a 7'2", real long and skilled, feathery touch. You'd like him to be more physical. Defense and foot speed, I don't know, but he has a lot of talent. He bounced from OKC. Did Boston have him for a little bit? He's bounced around, was on the Clippers. And again, it's another one of these young guys where you look at the talent and you look at the size and you ask yourself, why hasn't he stuck around on any team he's been on? Is there something between the ears? But he is a big talent that I wouldn't be mad at taking a swing on. Here's a name we haven't heard in a while. What about Derek Favors? Derek Favors, where is he at? Is he healthy is the question. I didn't even know he was a free agent. I looked at the list this morning. I was like, Derek Favors, he's still only 32 years old. It feels like he's been in the league for 15 years, right? Came out of Georgia Tech. Was he part of the Darren Williams trade? I don't know. It was a long time ago, but obvious Warriors system fit, veteran big, physical, 6'10". I guess my question is the durability. And I'm joking about how long he's been in the league. He came in the league at like 18, 19, very young. And again, his durability and his body, can he still hold up over a season? Do the Warriors really want to take a risk on a roster spot after dealing with Andre last year? And I'm not taking a shot on Andre, but it is what it is, right? And Favors is much younger than Iggy, but kind of at that same phase in his career, unfortunately, just at a younger age. And so that leaves me with Boogie. What about Boogie, man? I know someone in the comments is like, I've been saying Boogie for 6 months. Where was he, in Taiwan? He already knows the players, the team. How desperate would that be? I don't know if it would be. The issue I think with Boogie Cousins is obviously that's an offensive push, right? You're not in there. And he's big, he's physical, he's a bully. I thought he played really well in that Raptors finals. Remember he had that big game on the road? He damn near led us to a win in one of those games. I like Boogie in big spots, meaning like when it really matters. But again, the culture, the locker room, the chemistry is probably a concern despite him already have been in that locker room. You know that he comes with just extra handling, if you will. And so, yeah, I think that, the longer this plays out with Dario Saric, the less likely we are to land him. And he's really the only true fit left. After that, I guess let me know in the comments. Let's say Saric chooses Miami. Who is your next choice as a big? I have a feeling most of you will say Mo Bamba, and I probably agree. Hey, the kid's got to mature at some point, and maybe you put him into this system and he fits so well despite being young or maybe not a Kerr type of player that he just plays. Let me leave you with this, though, because I know people are down right now because of the lack of activity and ability to add to the roster. And you combine that with the fact that you look around the West, the Suns are loading up. The Suns probably, as of right now, have to be the favorite in the West. No disrespect to Denver, but they lost Bruce Brown, and the Suns just keep adding role player after role player. It kind of feels almost like that Laker team when they had Nash and Dwight, and they just loaded. It didn't work. So we'll see. It's got to play out, right? But the Suns have loaded up. The Lakers have done pretty well for themselves. Houston looks like they're going to be competitive, right? And so you look around the West, and people are feeling down about this Warriors team. But, there are moves to be made. I think there are trades to be made. I remind you that Chris Paul and his contract add some flexibility. They have first-round picks. This roster isn't set in stone by any means. But if they were to go into the season with a roster like this and, some fringe pieces on the end, the one thing that I'll point out is, listen, as old as this team is, and you saw Chris Paul and the fit, I think you could make the argument that Draymond Green and Chris Paul are the two greatest competitors of this era. Competitors, not players, not skill for skill, competitors. Like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to try to win this game. And when you combine the top five, right? I'm sure someone's going to say, no, they're not the top, right? But they're two of the top five competitors of this generation, of this era. And when you put them together in one locker room, I think people are underestimating what that does for the rest of the team. And I also think that people are underestimating the step that Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga should be taking this year. You look, oh, they added this guy, they added that guy. Year 3, Kuminga, year 3, Moody. Year 3 is the year, in my experience, where these young guys really start to reach their potential. And so I don't think it's as doom and gloom as people are making it out to be, despite it being frustrating that we haven't added the pieces that we want. Everybody wants a new piece in free agency, and they want it right away, right? We're impatient. I understand that. And then let me bring up the rookies here. They played the third. They play today. Podjenski. I liked what I saw in that first game. Lester Quinones. Okay, I see you. Right? Guy Santos. And so I'm covering all the Summer League games. I'm actually going to Vegas for the first weekend. I'm thinking about opening up, those of you that just don't like the patron platform, is starting the membership here on YouTube and maybe putting some of those breakdowns here. Let me know what you guys think if you'd be interested in that. But I'm covering the Summer League. Early returns are positive in my eyes. If you want the breakdowns of all the Summer League games, check my Patreon. Or maybe the membership here if I do that. But yeah, we're all waiting. I think we all hope it's Dario and he chooses the Warriors. But after that, it's going to be interesting to see what they do, or if it's some sort of trade perhaps to get another big body. But I was waiting for the shoe to drop as far as the big that we added, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen here in the next 24, 48 hours. And then I'm out to Vegas. So those are my current thoughts on free agency and the Warriors. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. I'm out, y'all.